Hey, what's up, you beautiful people? Keeping it all nice and natty on the evening of this Wednesday, also known as WED. Today we have a team that is almost dead. We have one team that is in the red. And, well, that's it. I'm out of rhymes now. I'm done. It is time to stop the rhyme. It's KKR playing Lucknow. This is match number 66. 6-6. There used to be something in... Housie and Tambola, right? I don't have the answer. I'm Gaurav Kapur on Cricbuzz Live. I never have any answers. But I have somebody with me who has all the answers. That's Professor Joy Bhattacharya. Can you tell me 6-6 was what in bingo/Housie/Tambola?
So we used to say Tom's Tricks, 66. But I don't know.
Tom's Tricks,
66. 66, clickety-click.
Clickety-click 66. Lisa Sthalekar coming in with some Aussie slang here for us. Thank you. Fair dinkum. Yes. Well, we have Lucknow playing the Knight Riders today. For Lucknow, well, they fell asleep at the wheel a little bit because it looked like they were going to qualify easy, one or two. You know, you want to qualify one or two because you get two chances to get to the final. Unlike what some people tell you that, oh, you get two bites at the cherry. I have no idea what that means. I've never had a cherry in two bites. And honestly, if one of you had had a bite of a cherry, I don't know if I'd want to have the second bite, to be really honest, even though we're all bros here. But yes, they get two chances to go into the final. So they've dropped the ball just a little bit, haven't they, Lisa?
Yeah, they have. You want to, at the back end of the league stages, be playing your best cricket. It's all about peaking at the right time. They certainly peaked at the start, and then right at the end now, they've just started to kind of falter slightly, which isn't good signs for them. Good thing is that they've got 16 points. They'll play in the finals, but it's really about securing that second spot.
Yep. And can they do it today? Of course they can. But Rajasthan is hot on their heels as well. But Lisa said peaking. And Joy, every time I hear the word peaking, I think of duck after that, obviously. Because as you know...
Are you hungry?
I'm always hungry, as you know. I'm always hungry. But the other team, it's very interesting because it's a case of ducks and ducks, I'll explain. There's 8, 9 or 10 of them who are kind of more a duck kind of season. And then there's Andrea Russell who's playing alone. And when he hits it, you got to duck if you're sitting in the audience. That's good. Huh? That's good.
I wondered where you were going.
That's good. I've impressed myself. It's rare.
He wheeled it back in well.
But that's what's happened, right? It's been one guy who's kind of just been carrying that water on his head and just going and pulling everybody else along with it.
Yeah, I mean, I to tell you honestly, those two guys, not just him and Sunil Narayan. Sunil Narayan's having outstanding season, and Sunil Narayan, since that 2014 when his action was called, I think he went off the boil for a bit. His batting improved, but it's really the last couple of years, somehow his action he's looking the Sunil Narayan of 2013, 2014, where literally other teams would say, okay, knock off those 4 overs. We'll go for 16 in those 4 overs, maybe lose not more than 1 wicket. Him and Andre Russell. And the fact they're easily the 2 best international combo that you'll have in this tournament. But, I mean, The others need to give you something as well.
That's true. And the kind of season that Andre Russell's been having with the bat and the ball, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's just tell you what is happening with the team composition. Lucknow has won the toss and decided to bat first. What? Yeah, some captains have been doing that of late. Still a minority, but they've been doing that. And Kolkata is going to be chasing, which is interesting because for them, Lisa, it's all a net run rate play now, right? Because they have punched themselves into this little corner where just winning is not enough. As we will see in the points table, they need to win. Then they need to win big. And then they need other results to go their way. So, I mean, they're really staring down the bottom of a barrel or up a really big hill.
Yeah, and maybe... I reckon if Kolkata had won the toss, they would have probably chased as well, so that they know roughly the equation of, what overs do we need to chase us down to improve our net run rate to go ahead of A, B, C, and D, depending on whether they lose. There's a lot of scenarios.com that they will be playing out as the game goes. There'll be someone tapping away a lot on the computer, trying to figure it out and feeding the information to the coaching staff and then obviously to the players.
I'll give you some of the scenarios.com that we have here. Just reading it off the Cricbuzz app. I'm not clever enough to do this math, as you are well aware. So Knight Riders would need to win with at least 20 balls to spare to get their net run rate past that of Delhi, assuming that the team batting first scores 180, which Lucknow looks good for. If Knight Riders can manage to pull that off, they can qualify with two results going in their favor. Is that GT beats RCB and takes them out of the equation.
Yeah.
And MI beats TC, obviously, and takes them out of the equation. So the two teams above them have to be beaten by number 1 and number 10. It's the truth. I'm not making it up. So a lot of ifs and buts, Joy. But, I mean, it's not. They don't need to look at that, right? I mean, you've been with the team. You've been in positions like that. What is your mindset going into a game like this?
Your mindset is first you got to win it. Next is run rate. See, remember one thing. If Delhi is losing their last match, that means they're going to drop something on run rate as well. So the run rate, suppose, if Delhi loses by 10 runs, they lose some. If they lose by, 5 overs, they lose by more. So Delhi is the size of Delhi's loss. So right now when they'll just reach Delhi's run rate. Now Delhi has to lose for them to actually go away. So whatever they win, it'll be better than that. So I think it's not as bad a situation. I mean, you look at it, it's straight. I mean, simple math, it's a 1-8 chance. So win-loss, Lucknow versus us, you've got to win. Kolkata has to win versus us. Those two have to go their way. So the 0.5%.
So the good thing is that if they're chasing, they know exactly when they go in, they know exactly the net run rate they have to cross. And we've seen teams do that before, right? That famous Mumbai-Rajasthan game that everybody still talks about, Lisa. I don't think because of what Aditya Thare did, but because of what Rahul Tripathi did. He threw a cap on the ground. So, what? He showed emotion. That was a crazy day. That was a crazy. But yeah, they had to do it in some 14.3 or 14.4. They had to chase it and they got it on the last ball. They had to cross a certain score. We've seen teams go into these situations, so which makes the game even more exciting, because if the Knight Riders go into the chase going, all right, we have to get this in, for example, 16.3, then you know that they are going like it's, go big or go bust.
Which is probably what we all want as well. We want to see a result. We want to see teams going for the victory to really ensure. And now it all comes down to this. Whereas before, if, they didn't want to lose heavily, so they batted out their 20 overs and they, chipped around to get close to the total. Here, it's a very simple occasion. When Kolkata go into bat, they'll go, right, this is what we need to do. How are we going to go about it? We may see some changes with their batting order as well, depending on how many runs Lucknow actually get. So there is a lot of different scenarios and tactics that I think we'll see throughout this match, which will mean it'll be quite riveting.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's have a look at the teams and see what they've done with their respective 11s. Of course, with Lucknow, they've decided to make a few changes. 3, actually. So no Krunal Pandya, no Ayush Padoni, no Dushmanta Chamira.
Yeah.
They've got Evan Lewis in to give him a go. They've got Manan Vora, an IPL veteran. Manan Vora's in. And Krishnappa Gautam comes back in. Obviously, because if you're essentially leaving out Chamira and bringing in Evan Lewis, but you can't do a straight swap because you've then got to drop an Indian batter and get in an Indian bowler. So with that balance, but we haven't heard though on the toss of what's happening with Krunal. Krunal probably, I don't know, just rested.
He's injured. Kunal is injured.
Oh, he's injured. Okay.
The other two are rested because of balance situation. But that's Kunal. I was looking at it and saying Lucknow is doing a Kolkata. Last minute, you haven't played Evan Lewis. You've given him 2-3 chances, and you've dropped him for the next 10 matches. You suddenly brought him in. This is a very Kolkata-like situation. Like, wait, who do we have left on our squad? Oh, you're not there. You haven't played. Come back. You, Manan. Oh, you scored against us in the final in 2014. Come right back here. And I think that's what's.
The advantage they've had is they've gone into games, Lisa, with 8 bowling options into the previous games. So it doesn't matter. You drop a Chamira it does matter in terms of quality, but in terms of quantity, it doesn't matter. But remember one thing, they've dropped Chamira, who's their 4-over bank. There's also no Krunal, who's been their 4-over bank this tournament. So now you obviously have Moshin and Avesh, who've both been in great form. Then you have Krishnappa Gautam, who's not bowled too much in this tournament. Ravi Bishnoi, who's not set it on fire. And then you have Marcus Stoinis, let's say Deepak Hooda, perhaps Jason Holder. So today you'd have to say that their bowling is a little lighter than it has been right through the tournament.
Yeah, slightly lighter. But the thing that's been so successful for them has been Mohsin Khan, Avesh Khan. And I actually have felt sometimes I had too many options. So it was almost like, hey, okay, let's go down the rung. Yep, one over, move along, one over, next. So maybe this might mean that they're going to have to expose those players. If they have a bad over, they're going to have to find a way to fight back and come back. They've still got options. I mean, Deepak Hooda, I think he's maybe bowled 1 or 2 overs this IPL. But we've seen him in the past that he's been pretty handy. And given the fact that they'll be bowling second, they may want to go for more pace-off deliveries.
Yeah, I think also the management, Joy, may have been telling Rahul that, listen, we saw you use 8 bowling options. You're confusing everybody. We're not giving you 8 in this match.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this has actually happened in Kolkata in 2011. We had this team which was constructed around all-rounders. So you had Jacques Kallis, you had Yusuf Pathan, you had Iqbal Abdullah who'd bowl a bit. We had exactly the same 8 bowling options. End of season, you do this final end of season survey, and we said, a man like Jacques Kallis, 300 plus test wickets, has bowled 16 overs in the tournament. Okay, which is rubbish. He's bowled 16 overs in the entire tournament. And then you realize that that's exactly what the captain, and what captains tend to do, and it's very interesting, is if you're an all-rounder and you have an all-rounder and a bowler as a choice, they'll want to throw it to the bowler because they'll feel that, I have to give this guy a justification for playing. The all-rounder is more probably the better call. The only guy who does this seamlessly is Dhoni, who doesn't care. Maybe all-rounder bowler, you're the right guy, I'll do it. Everyone else thinks, I've got him in the team. Why am I not giving him a ball, And I think that is something that they're sorting for Rahul. I actually thought Chamira's pace would have been really useful against Russell. Because whenever he came into bowl, save a couple of overs, Chamira will keep it out. Here he's 140 plus. They'll miss Chamira. But I think they just felt their batting wasn't strong enough with Kunal going out.
Let's have a look at, there is, sometimes it can be too much of a good thing, right? So too much of a good thing. You've got too many bowling options. Let's just give you fewer. Take fewer toys to the playground today. All right, let's have a look at the Knight Riders 11. Of course, Ajinkya Rahane injured and no longer part of the bubble. He's left and gone home. So they have Abhijit Tomar. Abhijit Tomar has come in his place. The rest of the team looks the same. Shreyas Iyer, Nitish Rana, Sam Billings, Rinku Singh, Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan, Tim Saudi, Umesh Yadav, Varun Chakrabarti. Joy, if they can get some of the other batters too, because they'll get the odd innings here and there. Nitish Rana's kind of come into his own in the last couple of games in the second half of the tournament. But that batting lineup, those names are far bigger than what the team has got out of them.
Yeah, it has. And I think this is not a bad batting lineup because now they really have no options left because Rahane is gone. This is what they have. They're not going to play with Finch because they need that extra bowler. So I think they've stuck to this for the last couple of matches. They've won 2 matches. Let's not forget, while we call Kolkata shambles, let's not forget the fact that they've won their last 2 matches, and that makes a difference. They have a little bit of momentum going in, and because there's not much pressure, everyone's given up on them. I think that's why they have this ability to come strong out here. See, Kolkata can chase anything because they have the kind of hitters who can. The question is, they are also the team who could be 75 all out. They're that kind of team. You don't know where to place them. You don't know where which Kolkata will wake up this morning. But they're a team who have 2 wins under their belt, and that's not that easily.
Which is why I always say, it's my saying in Hindi, kabhi shatak, kabhi batak. Which means sometimes 100, sometimes duck.
Sir,
you never know what's going to happen.
Shakespeare of cricket commentary, sir.
Sir, I try my level best. I try. I am just koshish hamara kartavya hai. I try. All right, let's talk about Nitish Rana, of course, because Lisa, that's the one. I'll be honest with you, I was a little confused because they've had him as opener previous seasons. This time, of course, they had Venkatesh Iyer. Venkatesh Iyer was brought down, but they still didn't put Nitish Rana up to open. I was a little confused, as I have been with a lot of the Knight Riders decisions this season.
You're not the only one, I have to say.
Yeah, it is strange because when he has come up in the past, I think he's pulled off a couple of 80s, like not just a 20 or a 30 off a good clip. He's actually gone on and posted decent runs. So
last year, yeah.
Yeah, last year. So it feels like they just don't want to go back to him. They want to solve their middle order or their 3 or 4 position with him. Yet he actually has done the job opening. So, and even last night we were talking potentially about Sam Billings coming up and opening as well. He's done it in Big Bash cricket. So, they're kind of searching and trying to figure out what their best batting 6 are. I mean, they've got Andre Russell where they like him, and it's about, letting him loose at a certain point. But the others, they're still not firing. And Shreyas Iyer, they would have wanted him to have a much better year, but we seem to see that a lot of the captains in this year's IPL have really struggled.
Yes, the captain's curse, Joy.
Yeah.
Leave aside KL Rahul, Sanju Samson, right?
Kane Williamson.
No, I'm saying it's Kane Williamson,
Mayank
Rohit Sharma,
Agarwal.
Mayank Agarwal. Geez, those are
Rohit
Ravindra
Sharma.
Jadeja left.
Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma. Faf again. I think just 2 innings, perhaps.
Yeah.
Two
And
and a half innings.
And even at Hardik, and
He's
the
one of
last
the best.
4 or 5, he hasn't
one
really
of the
troubled. Yeah. Don't want to be
Rishabh
captain.
Pant. Rishabh Pant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Jeez, we're onto something here. So, but anyway, are the Knight Riders onto something here, Joy, by plugging Nitish Rana in to the middle order, or could they be getting more from him as an opener?
Look, I think that's the point. They had Venkatesh Iyer as an opener. It worked for them. They made a formula. It worked for them. They got results out there. They went from 2-5 to 7 all and managed to make it to the finals. So they've done all that once. And remember one thing, the great thing about Nitish Rana is he can tonk it later as well, because he plays the reverse sweep well. He plays the swap sweep well. He's a kind of guy who I like against spinners. I feel Nitish Rana is somebody who can dominate spinners. And I think that's why I think they like him at 6. It's a reverse. It's almost like saying if, Aaron Finch may not be able to dominate spinners in India the way Nitish Rana can. So you'd rather have a Nitish Rana play at that slot where between 7 and 14, if he's around, he can really take on spinners. He and Sunil Narayan are their 2 biggest weapons against spinners.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Can we just see his numbers again? I just want to have a look at them, because obviously it's been kind of a season of 2 halves for him there. In the last 5 innings, what he's been doing, and he's given you a 300 plus season, right? Which is great, because the Knight Riders have been kind of struggling. So
But
he's given them the 300 season.
He always gives you 300. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's nothing exceptional. It's nothing I'm blowing this game out of the water and I'm taking my side all the way. It's I'm going to get reselected. It's tick a box. Yeah, I'm good. My average is all right. Strike rate, I'll give you a little bit of this every now and again to keep me in the hunt. But it's not. He's not really imposing himself and saying, "Look, I want to be your number 1 batter. I want to lead this batting group and dominate." And he has the ability to. He has the skill.
Yeah. I feel like it's also about the opportunities. Like, for example, Knight Riders went with Nitish Rana as opposed to Rahul Tripathi, right? Rahul Tripathi. And we've seen what he's done in Hyderabad. They've stuck with him at number 3, even though somebody here has been wanting him to open right through the tournament. But because their openers barely gave them anything, he would pretty much be there to open very soon. But how brilliant, Joy, has Rahul Tripathi been? Not only is he getting the runs, he's dominating some of the shots he's playing, the calmness he shows. He has definitely been my candidate for perhaps one of the 3 most exciting batters in this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing is that what I do not hear is every fast bowler comes and takes 2 wickets and immediately you say they're India prospects. What has Rahul Tripathi not done for him to be playing India in the T20? What has he not done? He has delivered for you almost every time. And he scores runs at least a 20 to 25 percent strike rate, higher than most of the other guys who are playing his positions. He bats at about 140, 150. He's really one of the most exciting batsmen. And if he was 21 years old, we'd say he's a new sensation. They'd pick him tomorrow. Unfortunately, he's 28 years old or 29 years old. They say, oh no, he can't be that good if he's been around so long. The truth is, we don't look at figures.
Or maybe if it's Rahul Tripathi, when he was 21, you say he's too young. Let's wait for him to get mature a little bit. Sometimes with Rahul Tripathi, you feel like whatever he's doing is just not good enough. But the way he's been playing, I mean, some of the shots he hit yesterday against the Mumbai bowlers, there was a Yorker that he hit over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, and you're seeing that a lot of guys are actually working on that, being able to get, the bat speed through. And even they're practicing it in the nets. I remember one of the first plays that I saw in warm-ups was that low Yorker full toss, and it was Joss Butler. And you look what he does. So, guys are figuring it out and being able to score runs. But he was exceptional last night.
Ask Cricbuzz live question had something to do with this, I think. And as usual, we like to answer first and then give the question. Is that what it is? Oh, no, it's about Lucknow. Sorry, no, it isn't. It says Lucknow's batting order keeps changing in line with Gautam Gambhir's horses for courses philosophy. Do you believe in changing the batting order every game? If not, please list Lucknow's best batting lineup. I like it, Hariharan Sukumaran. Not only have we asked a question, you've given us some paperwork to do as well. That's excellent. Brilliant. Come on, both of you. Chop, chop. I don't see your pens. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Joy. How would you like to see this? I just have one thing to say over here. As long as you're not batting Marcus Stoinis at 8, I'm okay with anything else.
Oh, really? Come on. There's a few more that you can probably lock in.
Yes, but I just don't want him. I'm fine with Gautam doing whatever he wants, captain doing whatever he wants. It's okay. It's their team. But just no Stoinis at 8. I put my foot down there.
So if you look at this lineup there, I think if you take this lineup and you put Kunal at 6, okay, I think that's the strongest batting lineup they have. But I think the problem is that they need to play Chamira, because I feel that you need those 140, 145 kind of bowlers, especially when you're playing guys like Andre Russell. You need genuinely fast bowlers. Look how many wickets Imran Malik is getting. He's getting whacked around, but he's getting wickets because when you're trying to swing your bat, especially in the last few overs, those extra 5-7 kilometers per hour makes a huge difference. It's very difficult to hit. And so I think that's what's happening out there. So I would ideally like Chamira there. And then, of course, if you have Chamira, you've got to play Kunal. And so that's the only thing. Otherwise, even Lewis, Marcus Stoinis at 3 and 4 is powerful. It's one thing.
I think what they might do, and I feel bad for Deepak Hooda, because he's actually, when he given that opportunity, that number 3, he actually did really well. So I would have had, KL, Quinton, Deepak Hooda, then I would have gone Stoinis, and then I would have probably put Ayush Badoni, if you wanted to, in the middle, and then Jason Holder, then Krunal. I just think they're probably wasting Jason Holder as well. But given this list, I reckon you could probably go Deepak Hooda 4, Stoinis 5, Mananvora drops down, Jason Holder comes in. That's how I would have the list. And Mananvora is only there maybe if you lose 2 early wickets and you need someone just to stabilise, spend some time. Yeah. But if they're all flying, unfortunately, he's not having a bat today.
Yeah, obviously the 2 people whose batting position is under no question, and they've really been doing the job for Lucknow, are the openers. The captain and the wicket keeper, there's KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock, and today they're batting first. So again, it'll come on to them, because Joy, a lot of this season and a lot of the wins for Lucknow have actually been about the 2 of them. And they've really carried a lot of the pressure. Whenever they, it's dependent on them, the batting order, right?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I feel de Kock has been, in that sense, more of an influencer, in the sense that he's actually scored much less runs, more than 100 runs less. But I think he scored them more effectively in the matches that he scored. They managed to get results, maybe because of the conditions, maybe because of whatever it is. And the point is, everyone expects Rahul to score runs, so he's not a differential. Sometimes there's this whole thing about differential players. So every captain bangs that, okay, Rahul's going to get some 70-80 against us. If the other guys, on the other hand, score, immediately the match situation changes.
Yeah. These 2 are... but the interesting thing, though, Lisa, is the last few matches, I don't know if you've noticed, because Rahul has had such a good season, but last couple of games have due a big score, I guess, from him. Yeah, last 3 games.
Yeah, he's due. It's all about peaking at the right time. Okay, enough's enough. You kind of put the brakes on. Now it's time to start to get back on the horse and start getting a good feel for the ball coming off the bat. When he scores runs, they look such a good side, and we all love it because he's so pleasant on the eye from a technical point of view and an ability to go through all the gears and clear the boundary with ease.
He is. Rahul is just a joy to watch. How much joy will he give today? He's got hundreds. He's got first ball ducks. I'm telling you, he is Kabhi Shatak, Kabhi Batak. What are you going to get from him today? I think you may get a big one from him today, because in the last 5 games, he's only got 1 big score, and that was 4 games ago. So maybe today is the day for him. But on the other side, just a quick word on Tim Southee, because he was always considered their second foreigner behind Pat Cummins because of just the aggression with which they went behind Pat Cummins. You thought Southee would be second. But Joy, that old war horse has shown that count me out at your own peril.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this and the only thing you tell yourself is this, when Kolkata was sitting at the auction table, this is not the list they were looking at. They were looking, possibly Sunil Narayan is the only one there. They'd be thinking, okay, Sunil Narayan will get us wickets, Pat Cummins will get us wickets, but Andre Russell was meant to be a change bowler. Umesh Yadav was not there in their plans. Tim Southee was not a part of their main plans. They were expecting other bowlers to come up and do it for them.
This table's the other way around, basically. Yes. This table's the other way around.
Correct. Right? Varun Chakravarti, Pat Cummins, Sunil Narayan. That was the attack they were looking at. And they just remember one thing. With this record also, they've lucked in. I mean, they picked up Umesh Yadav because there was nobody there. The Indian fast bowler, okay, too close. Okay, I'll take that. I'll buy it.
Yeah. Because remember, they didn't even have enough personnel to make up the minimum, right? So towards the end of the auction, they were literally saying, can we get somebody, anybody, anybody? And I don't know how the other scouts have all missed Umesh Yadav, because the Knight Riders are laughing their way to the bank, because that really was a great kind of pickup for them. But, that table's upside down. Some people are saying that the points table is upside down because Chennai and Mumbai are right at the bottom. You can say whatever. The table is the table. If you want it to turn, then that will happen next year. But this year, no, sorry. The new teams are on top and the old war horses are down at the bottom. Okay, we have a Joy Factor question, which today, thankfully, is lesser work for me because Joy will be reading it himself. And if he hesitates, then you know that he's outsourcing the question and somebody else is making it. Go!
I wish I could outsource the questions. Okay, what did an Indian opener do to a West Indian named after an American president in Singapore that was replicated 13 years later by another Indian in Chennai? Indian opener to a West Indian named after American president in Singapore. I just wanted to put in as many countries.
How many countries can you, seriously?
Yeah. Indian, West Indian, American, Singapore, then I've stayed. Then
Chennai. And then Chennai. Let's go and let's hone down to Chennai. No idea.
It's a bit more complicated. It's simpler than it looks. It's just meant to complicate your life.
All right.
Was there ever a cricketer called Donald Trump? Barack Obama? No, we would have known.
Okay,
John F. Kennedy?
Watergate.
John Kennedy. Oh, there was a Richard Nixon.
I'll say no more.
There was a cricketer called Richard Nixon. I know there was a Dixon playing for. There was Australia. There was a Nixon.
Steve Rickson.
Steve Rickson, fielding coach as well for Chennai.
Yes, well done.
Okay, I have no idea. If you guys have managed to decode the question, then please let us know. #Cricbuzz Live on Twitter. We'd like to know. And of course, for many such interesting pieces of trivia, you have Joy's new show, Retro Reels, on Cricbuzz Plus. So do tune in for that as well. You have to sign up to Cricbuzz Plus, and then you can watch that show. All right. While we guess, we do a score guess. D.Y. Patil, Lucknow batting first. Can we just put that question up again so people can just read it while we're trying to guess? Let's just put it. There's no one here. I don't know who I'm talking to. What did an Indian opener do to a West Indian named after an American president in Singapore that was replicated 13 years later by another Indian in Chennai? Well, Joy needs your answers. He also needs commas, apparently, because he doesn't have any. So,
Oh, that's not on me. That's not me.
I know what I'm getting you for a birthday. Commas. Okay, so tell us score prediction. Lisa, go first.
166.
Because it's match 66.
Ah.
Tom Tricks. What was it? Tom Tricks. Tom Tricks.
Yeah.
Tom Tricks 166. You, Joy?
Tommy Tricks 166.
Tommy Tricks 166. Joy?
I think 166 would be really Kolkata would be really happy. I'm going to go even lower. I'm going to go 151 because I think this Lucknow team is playing too many new guys.
Wow.
Jeez.
Well, you guys have left it wide open, huh, for me. Excellent. So
Like
I'm
you
going to
are.
go. I want 182.
182.
182. Yes, sir. My name is Apu, and I'm from The Simpsons. Not from the Nixons. The Nixons is part of the answer. The Simpsons is not. All right, that's all we have time for. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. A big thank you to Joy Bhattacharjya and Lisa Sthalekar. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live. We'll see ya in a bit.